I started a new book, and I'm struggling with my motivation to read it. It's The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I bought the Indigo exclusive cover when it came out, like, I think it was 2 years ago. And I was at Kohl's last week, and they have the second book. So I bought it. I haven't started the Stardust Thief. I had read part of the first chapter right when I got it, and I wasn't feeling it. Not because the book was bad, but because I just was in the mood for something else. And so now I'm like, well, I need to read it, because I just bought the sequel. And I don't even know if I like this series. But when I bought it, the lady who was working at Chapters said that she really freaking loved it, and she was distraught because she read an ARC copy of it, which means she got to read it before it even came out, and she's like, and there's no release date on the next one, and I'm big mad. So I really want to love it, because I don't remember what the premise is about, so I'm going in blind. I know that she's a human and she has a djinn, and he's like a lizard on her shoulder at the moment. He can be like, look like a human and be a lizard. Anyways, and they're like buddies, they work together. But I don't remember what the actual premise is, and I want to keep it that way. But from remembering reading the premise, I thought it was really cool, so I picked it up. So we're gonna try and read a little bit more. I think I'm like 5 chapters in. Yeah. I want to like this book, and I'm not liking it. I just feel like I'm not quite in the mood for this book as I would like to be. But it's also a fantasy book, and sometimes that takes a while to get into, so I'm keeping an open mind. I'm not hating it. I made it to chapter 12. I am, 86 pages in. I think I now know the direction of the story. The Sultan is probably going to ask Lily, the main character, to go find some relic in an old djinn city that isn't there anymore. And there's something to do with these people dressed all in black. And then the youngest prince is also a point of view. I think he's supposed to be 21, but honestly, like 11-year-old. I'm watching live rating sprints with Jade, but I wanted to say that I got to the 100-page mark last night, and she's going to be sent to go find this relic in the middle of the desert. So I now know what the plot is. I don't know if Mazen, who to me acts like an 11-year-old, is going to go with her. Right now, it's his older brother, Omar. So we will see. I'm having trouble reading long stints at a time with it, and I don't know if I'm not in the mood for it or if it's the book. I'm not giving up. I will continue. Okay, it has been a few days since I last updated, and a lot has happened. I haven't read in a few days, but I only have a little bit left. My audiobook says I have an hour and 38 minutes. It is currently 11:14. I need to leave the house at 1:30. Lots of time to finish this, but will we get it done before I need to leave the house? I am not sure. Also, might not be staying here for very long because it's really hot coming in the window behind me. But I do have a pillow beside me, so I might just prop that up behind me to block some of the sun from beating down on my neck. Anyways, things have happened. We're learning more things. No spoilers. I really only like Kadir. I'm not a huge fan of Luli. Mazen, still giving. He's not quite an 11-year-old anymore. He's like made it up to like 15, 16. But for context, I think he's like 21 actually in the book. But that's the vibe that I get from reading his like chapters. But he is maturing, which I think is good. So character growth is good. Asha? Is that her name? Let me fact check. Open the book to a page where her name was on it, which I really enjoy. I think it's Aisha. Aisha? Not Aisha. I think it's Aisha. I'm listening to the audiobook, but it's been a few days. Yeah. I'm not loving this as much as I thought that I would love it. That being said, I am on page 373, and there are like 463 pages. So I am 90 pages from the end, and I actively was falling asleep while I was reading like 80% of Warbreaker, and Warbreaker is one of my favorite books of all time. 5 stars. So I am very much aware that fantasy books can be a drag for me, and then the last 100 pages or so can really pull it out. Obviously not all books, and it's not just because I really like those last 100 pages, but like for Warbreaker, the whole book is kind of slow, but then the information that you learn in the last 100 or so pages makes you look back at everything you read previously slightly different. And so I could see this book doing that. I own the second book, so I will probably read the second book of this. The end, and if there's a major cliffhanger or not, will depend on how quickly the second book gets read. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna put a pillow behind my head because it's getting really hot on my neck, and I'm going to try and bang out these 90 pages. Wish me luck. I have finished the book. I have 20 minutes before I need to leave. Well, aren't you just the cutest little boy? I now understand why that girl who worked at Chapters was utterly outraged at the fact that she read an ARC copy of this book. And that was back in 2022. The sequel came out this year. And Goodreads says nothing about a book 3, but it's called the Sand Sea Trilogy. So now I'm like, do I wait till next year to read the sequel? I don't know. I also don't really have thoughts because this, after finishing, feels a lot like it was a prequel for what the second and third books are actually going to be. Like, we needed to get the characters where they needed to be. I don't have it rated on Goodreads because I don't know what to. I don't have thoughts. I don't know. I don't even know how to rate it. Because it kind of did what I was talking about Warbreaker. Not to Warbreaker's extent, but it did some things at the end.